What's good, YouTube? It's Rose RGM back with another video, and in this video, this is going to be a settings video, a best settings video for all settings for PvP, quality of life, just everything, mandatory settings that you need. Alright, so I lost the audio for this, so I'm going to just try to commentate over it as best as I can. So, first setting is you want to have best health item equipped, and that's in game. And this is like one of the best settings. If you're not running this, you need to be running this. I can't count how many times I've been in a fight where I just squared a body and picked up the meds and didn't have them in my hotbar. So I just did this and they just got in my hotbar, so I didn't have to go on my inventory and fight. This is like one of the best settings to have. You have to put this on. Pretty much what this does is if you have an empty slot in your hotbar, you can hover over it, over any other empty slots, and press R2 and it'll add it in that slot for you. And that's so good when you're fighting, because you don't want to be opening your inventory when a kid's pushing you. Like, you want to just be able to equip it, pop it, and you'll be good to go. So you definitely want to run that. And straight into controls. After that, for controls, everybody knows about head look. If you don't know about head look, I don't know why you've been playing Rust, but you want to have head look on. If you don't know how to equip head look, this is how you do it. You just want to swap it until it's equipped. After that, camera control type, you want to run digital boost. Do not run analog acceleration. Digital boost is just so much better than analog acceleration. For analog acceleration, it does, like, what that does is it speeds up over time. So when you input maximum, it's still going to take a little time to charge up when you're trying to flick, and you don't want your aim sensitivity to be charging up. When you push that button, you want it to move as fast as it can, and wherever you're pointing your weapon at, obviously. So you want to run digital boost. You don't want it to be a little delayed or nothing like that. You want it to be snappy and quick. So that's why you run digital boost. Analog acceleration is not snappy, and it feels a little bit delayed. Yep, so yeah, that feels a little bit delayed. So back into the settings now. For digital boost, you want it to be on 400%. That you want it to be maximized so it can be as snappy as possible. Now for ADS and scope and 4X, don't let nobody tell you a specific sense and say that's the best sense you want to be running. There's a specific range you want to be in, and I believe that range is for ADS and 1X, I believe that range is from like 20 to 40. Now, if you're going above that or less than that, that's on you. But I played around this for like 2 years now, and I feel like in between those ranges is fine. You just have to get used to your sense in between those ranges. Because I know for a lot of the weapons, the sensitivity, like when you have a MP5 and you're shooting it on low sense, you can't really track as good like you can with the AK. But when you have it like, and like the mid ranges between like 30 to 40, you can track good with it. And also the same thing with the Tommy and the AK. But when you run the AK on low sense, you can kind of beam and track like pretty far and pretty normal. But then when you pull out the MP and you try to track, it feels like so clunky on low sense. It feels so weird that you can't really even track. So I figured out between like 25 to like 40 is like good for like all weapons on your ADS and your scope 1X. But for 4X, that's like personal preference, because you know people use the Bolty and the L9 and the LR. But I believe also that 40% to like 60% is the best for 4X. You want it to be. Bow is your personal preference. Everybody runs a different bow sense. Camera sensitivity sprinting, you want that maxed out. Sensitivity x-axis and y-axis, you want this as high as possible. It doesn't have to be maxed out, but from 80 to 100 is good, because you want to be able to turn around. Now dead zone right, you want that to be 0 if you have stick drift, and you want it to be as low as possible, because you want to have your analog to be able to react to wherever you're moving it. And when you put dead zone on your analog, whenever you press it, it's not going to have that quickest response time that you want it to be. And you want the most possible response time, quickest response time you can have when you're pressing your analog. You want to be able to move your analog, and you want your analog to respond wherever you're moving it to. That's to have like the best aim, and that's in like any game, I'm pretty sure. Now audio, and stuff like that. That's all personal preference. People don't like getting ear raped and having their eardrums blew out by AK shots, or when your teammate DBs you on the back of the head in base for no reason. So that's personal preference. Graphics is personal preference. I run my field of view on 90. You can put your field of view, I believe, down a little bit. I believe anywhere from like 85 to 90 is like the best where you want to have it. Anything less than that, or I think less than that, probably be a little weird. Probably if you're a weirdo, you probably run it less than that. Alright, make sure you like and subscribe if you like the settings. If you learn anything new, then that's good for you. If you have anything that you want to mention to help out people, mention it down in the comments. Yeah, just keep practicing, keep trying out different sensitivities, just keep grinding. You'll eventually get better, and make sure you stay legit.